First opened way back in 1924, but renovated in 2002. There's a look inside venerable Soldier Field in Chicago. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Minnesota Vikings and the Chicago Bears. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. First carry now for Jordan Howard. Call it officially a loss of 2 on the first play from scrimmage. Second down.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
On second down now, it's Howard. And he'll get this one up to the 26.
That's a really good job right there. Just kept stringing that play out, pushing further and further towards the sideline. Really good fundamentals by that defense.
He was trying to put his foot in the ground and turn upfield. He just couldn't.
No, they really had a picket fence in front of him. No room to find to get upfield.
So trouble already here on their opening drive. This is 3rd and 9.
Big stop, D. Big stop.
Prescott to throw it. Well, the two men come together, and it's incomplete. Excellent work defensively, brings up 4th down. So the defense able to get off the field here on 3rd down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on 3rd down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
On the return, here's Agnew. The Bears in good field position to start out 1st and 10 at their 35-yard line. Sony Michel, his first carry. And getting this just shy of midfield. They'll spot it at the 49. 14 yards into Chicago, 1st down. Well, one unit I know you want to watch is that offensive line. If they keep clearing holes like that, it could be a long night defensively.
No doubt about it, because when they are in sync, as we're seeing so far, when that continuity is there, and you can see that they're playing off of each other while controlling the defensive front and linebackers, you're exactly right. It could be a very long night for the defense because someone's going to run for some big yardage.
I'm going back to you.
On 1st down, Trubisky. Looking for Tate, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Sidney Jones. And his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line. Well, certainly not how he wanted to start his night. First throw of the game, an INT.
Yeah, it's not easy, but he's got to try and wipe that one away from the memory banks. And let's face it, it's not often a quarterback and a defensive back have a lot in common. But one thing, because they have these individual type plays, they've got to have short memories, don't they? DB gets beat, wipe it away, quarterback throws a pick, has to do the same thing.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Prescott now. Pressure, and he's taken down. A Bear sack. Geno Atkins in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him. The Bears bring out an extra defender in the secondary now for 3rd down. From the shotgun, it's Prescott. A fight for the football, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Janoris Jenkins. And his crew will take over with a football at the 35-yard line.
The Bears take over 1st and 10 at the 35-yard line.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. After the interception, here's Trubisky. And And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's second down.
He kind of forced that one there, didn't he? It's almost like he predetermined where he was going to go with the football.
Yeah, he wasn't really going through progressions. He wanted to go to his top guy. You do that against this defense, they'll make you pay, won't they?
Yeah, they certainly will. They react very quickly to the thrown football.
Hey, ball. Big ass. Lock in.
Second and 10. It's Trubisky again. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be third down. The turnover put them in great field position. They don't want to squander it with third down coming up.
No, not at all. And you know what else you do? You make your defense mad.
Yeah.
They got you the football, gave you a great opportunity. You got to cash in and get some points.
The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is third and long.
Hey, check Mike 27.
From the gun, it's Trubisky. And Tate's got it. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or two shy of the 10. 23 yards on the play. He missed on his first three passes, was 0 for 3. Now gets a connection. Maybe that'll get him going.
Yeah, it wasn't a time for panic, but there was some concern because once you start in a certain pattern, you're wondering, can you get out of it? And that flips the other way, too, when you're throwing it.
And that is caught. Touchdown, Bears. Gerald Everett, his third touchdown now on the year, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Extra point good by Gostkowski, and it's now a 7-0 game. Gostkowski now, after the touchdown, he'll send this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, wound up leading to a touchdown the other way. How do you... Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Janoris Jenkins. He couldn't get the hook up there that time with Thomas. First quarter, and now he already has 2 interceptions.
Yeah, he's got to guard against being tentative from this point forward, though. He's got to still make the right reads, make the proper throws. I've seen guys in this league throw 4 interceptions in a game and win. He's got to understand, put it behind you, keep pressing forward.
Now a first down carry. It's Michel. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down.
In today's NFL, you hear all the time about stretching the field and creating space in order to run plays. A toss play will help accomplish that because now you're pushing a defense to chase you all the way to the edges and to the sideline. That's a nice run, probing now early to try and get things done later.
To throw on 2nd and 6, Trubisky, and they're going to get him. He's sacked back around the 28. Olivier Vernon in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. After that sack we just saw, Trubisky and the Bears deal with a 3rd and long.
Hey, Charlie.
Now Trubisky on 3rd and long. Open man is Gordon, complete. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a 1st down.
And a little bit of space there. Takes it inside the 5 to the 3. It'll be a pickup of 4, and it brings up 2nd and goal. So that run gets him about halfway home.
Yeah, it's now 2nd and goal. The end zone beckons. It looms. They can do whatever they want. Full playbook. Run it again, or they can go play action and try and put it in that way.
Now a second down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete. Gerald Everett is tight end, the intended receiver. But now it's 3rd and goal.
I know every offense wants to start their snaps closer to the goal line, but it's actually harder to throw the ball in those situations. You throw into that tight coverage, you see what happens. Hard to get the ball in there.
Not enough space there. Lucky maybe that it wasn't intercepted.
I don't think you got it, son. Shoot. Blue. Hey, 58 is the mic. Go 58 is the mic. Here we go. Let's bring it. Let's go. Let's bring it. Let's bring it. Hey, Alpha. 58, boys. 58. Red, come.
On 3rd and goal, Trubisky. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete. So they opted to pass for it on 3rd and goal. Let's see what they do on 4th and goal.
Well, I think they threw it with the idea that if they didn't get it, they would go for it on 4th and goal. So they got another play in their pocket. They're going to have to call it right now. No field goal here.
A good drive gets them inside the 5, but they could not punch it in.
And credit the defense, too. Make sure that happens, because that was the old bend but don't break approach. Made sure they contained them when they absolutely had to and forced them through.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They'll look to get something started. They need to, down 10-0 early as they've got it 1st and 10. They'll begin the drive with Howard. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense, because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later. Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level, because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively.
Set the tone, defense. Set the tone, defense. Let's go.
Out of the gun. Here's Prescott. And this is going to be caught, but they'll say out of bounds. So it's incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
It'll be a 41-yard punt, giving 5 on the return. And the Bears take over. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. 6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4.
Show it up. Switch. Alert.
Shotgun handoff to Thompson. Through an opening, and there he goes. Touchdown, Chicago. Chris Thompson, his 3rd touchdown now on the year, as the Bears push further out in front. And on that long run, maybe the defense caught napping a little bit.
The concentration level may not have been there. I agree with you on that one, because those types of plays, when they result like that, they're almost like big bolts of lightning, aren't they? Whoosh, and off he goes.
And they will not get a chance to return this one, as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And 3 and out on the last drive. No points on the scoreboard. A little soul-searching now?
I would say so. And they need to help out their defense a little bit. They've had to be on the field a lot more than normal, put them in some tough spots. But what's the old adage? When you get another chance, it gives you a better chance to do it right.
A big play there on the catch and run. 56 yards. Took him 5 tries, but he is able to complete that first pass of the game.
And could you hear the exhale all the way up here? Not just from him, coaching staff, offensive line, receivers. Now he's off the schneid. Can they get him going in a nice groove where he becomes a little more consistent throwing the football?
Because you miss those first 2, but you get up the 0 for 4 range. That can be a little tricky, but able to settle in, hopefully.
Yeah, now you won't have any confidence issues. Now you can kind of get it back, even with just one throw.
17-0 our score after 1. The Vikings with the football here to begin the second quarter as they are looking at a 2nd and 5 situation. On 2nd down, it's Howard, and he'll get about 3 just outside the 10, stopped at the 11.
He hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. The Vikings on 3rd down, 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This time they face a 3rd and 2. And this play gets blown up. They'll lose yardage back at the 17. 6 yards in the wrong direction that time. Not only that, but it brings up 4th. The kick by Tavecchio is good. And they're on the board at least here. It's now 17-3. So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays, and when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked. But you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments. They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. Now it's Trubisky. That's complete to the tight end, Everett. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
From the gun on 3rd down, it's Trubisky. He's got Thompson here, complete. And this effort won't be enough as they rally up to stop him a couple of yards short.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a 1st down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. And the win last week punted 4 times as this one's away. And no return here. Where will they spot it? They say just outside the 20-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And tough to win games if you're going field goal, field goal, field goal here. They got field goal last time. Now they'll be looking for a touchdown.
They're looking for the big chunk now because, as you noted, the field goal way of doing it makes it that much harder. It puts more pressure on every possession for you now. Go ahead and get 6 and feel a lot more comfortable about the position they're in.
Bigger chunks. We'll see if they can get the score. Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. Once again, they'll go from the 23-yard line on 2nd and 10. Here's Prescott. They'll set up the screen to Howard. A good job defensively to hold that to 4 yards, and now it's 3rd down.
So many things have to come together just right for a screen pass to break for big yardage. The blocking, the timing of the pass to the runner, everything has to fit together just right. But on that play, the defense was able to disrupt things and hold it to a short game.
Now they'll try to convert on 3rd and 6 after the 4-yard completion. 3rd down, and they're going to try the jet sweep. And he won't be close to a 1st down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there. A nice job defensively, and it likely forces a punt situation on 4th. And he puts a little something extra into this one, by far his best of the night. Agnew now to return. 12 yards on the return that time. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
From the 31, Trubisky stepping up. He's going to keep it. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Able to make something out of nothing there. 17 yards and a 1st down.
Certainly making his presence felt in both the pass and the run game. He's having an impact.
Yeah, his first carry of the game right there. He had hurt him with his arm. Now he's showing that he can shuffle the puppies as well. They'll run on 1st down. It's Thompson, and that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's 2nd down.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
180. Hey, 18. Mike 27. I got you.
On 2nd and 11 now. Trubisky. And that's going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's 3rd down.
It's easy to see when we review this that the ball needs to come out quicker because if you don't throw it right on the break, you bring a crowd of people into the equation.
And that's why it got knocked away there. The Bears on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 11. From the shotgun is Trubisky. That's going to be complete to his tight end, Everett. And this is going to turn into another 1st down as the tackle is made at the Vikings 40.
The beauty of route running is it doesn't matter what position, everyone's doing the same thing. In this case, tight end, selling the vertical route. Get the defensive back on his heels, break off for the corner. And with good timing, you get a completion as we just saw there.
Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. 2 minutes remaining in this 1st half of football. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our 1st half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. looking to throw on second down. Trubisky, he's just going to dump this one off to his fullback out of the backfield. The Vikings going to signal for their first of their timeouts. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. Seventh play of the drive upcoming here on 3rd and 6.
58, boys, 58, 58, Mike. Hey, alert. 58, right over there, yeah. Mike, 58.
Now Trubisky. Looks to throw, fires right side. And that's going to be incomplete. The coverage too good there. The contact popped the ball free, and it's 4th down. And for the second time tonight, this field goal unit comes out here. From the right hash, this from 53. Now the Vikings will use the second of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. And for the second time tonight, this field goal unit comes out here. From the right hash, this from 53. That's running out of steam, and it won't get there. He left it just short, no good, and this score will stay right where it is.
NFL kickers nowadays, they make things look so easy because normally from this range, about 2 out of 3. And this is not an easy kick.
Yeah, 20 years ago, you get where he was in that 50 range, maybe a little over. And it's a big kick, but now we just, if they leave it short, you're like, whoa, what happened? And that's what we have here.
Yeah, you're right. 20 years ago, we were saying run some more plays and get closer. Now we think they're definitely within range, and you're exactly right. When it comes up short, there has to be something that went wrong because they have plenty of lead.
Throwing again on second down. Prescott. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
Another dangerous throw there, partner. I mean, he's already thrown 2 interceptions here in the first half. I don't know if you want to keep throwing up 50-50 balls and you've had that kind of lack of success.
Yeah, absolutely. Very well could have been a 3rd interception in half number 1. An incomplete pass on second down leads us to 3rd and inches. They'll try to run forward with Howard. And Howard stopped short. He didn't get there. Tough sledding. They lose a yard there on 3rd. And no move to get the offense off the field. They'll stay put on 4th and 1. They'll try and run for it. And he's got the first down before being taken down at the 46. The Vikings going to use their 3rd and final timeout as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. To throw is Prescott. Looking deep for Demarius. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off Byron Jones. Thomas the intended target.
Oh, and that's a nice job defensively to get a piece of the football. He's going to pop it into the air, and then it's the tip drill. And good concentration by him to react to it and pull in the interception.
At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. You've got under a minute to go here until halftime. You got the good-sized lead. No need to do anything crazy.
No, there really is no need to do anything crazy. The smart play, go ahead and take your lead into the locker room and then try to add to it in the second half. But there's a part of me that looks at this and says, first half going my way, I have a little bit of a cushion. Let's go ahead and try and extend things. If you've got some good plays drawn up, you might want to think about them right here.
2nd and 10 now from the 27. Not wanting to take a chance this time, they'll keep it on the ground. And he'll push forward here for a good little run as the clock continues to run.
Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball. But when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace him.
Hey, Steve 6. Steve 6. 27, Mike 27. I'm coming after you.
Final play of the half. It's Trubisky. They'll find Everett there, complete. Well, he's taken down, but not before picking up the first, thanks to a flashy little spin move. So we are at halftime here on a Monday night as we'll head down to Orlando. That's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Set to resume. Here we go with the second half. The Bears holding the lead and ready to receive the kick. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. One of the reasons that this team is on this win streak, big runs like that.
When you see runs like that broken off, you know this is a team that's confident running the football. A big reason why this streak has occurred, they've come together, had a plan, and stuck to it. And when you get big-time runs like that, it makes it easier to stay with it, doesn't it?
Now a toss left side into the hands of his tight end. And he takes this one in for a Bears touchdown. Gerald Everett with his second touchdown of the game, fourth of the year, as the Bears push further out in front. Still plenty of time left in the game, but now starting to pull away a little bit, get some breathing room with that one.
And I don't want people to think that NFL locker rooms are cookie cutter, that everyone's saying the exact same thing in every situation. But I do know that all 32 teams have an emphasis on starting fast. Game, the second half, no matter what, whether it's first 5 minutes, first 3, whatever, this was a big score to start the second half.
This is taken at his 4. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line.
At their own 29-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And their halftime hold now even deeper. And they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing and try and get back to where you were to start the half.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Here's Prescott. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Geno Atkins has now recorded 10 sacks on the season.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in 3rd and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
3rd and long for Prescott. Being chased out left. He'll air it out deep for Thomas. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And 4th down now coming up. Well, this secondary has done such a good job of frustrating these receivers tonight. Another example right there on the deep ball.
Sometimes when the sun goes down and it's just the bright lights in the stadium, puts a little extra spring in their step, doesn't it? And that's what we're seeing from the defenders. Doesn't matter whether it's man or zone, deep ball, short ball. That was a deep one there. They were making plays on the football, contesting everything.
Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. They had the double-digit lead at halftime, and they have continued to roll. They're hard to stop right now.
I think what we're seeing is an example of a team that has it figured out in this ballgame. And whatever the adjustments are the defense has made, hasn't slowed them, hasn't phased them at all. They either anticipated them or they've been so far ahead that they just can't catch up.
Now it's just a search to add to the lead. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Again, it's Michel. And he'll get 2, maybe 3, up near the 37.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Lock in.
On third down, Michelle. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. 4 yards on the pickup there, but it's going to take him to fourth down. Here's J.K. Scott now as he'll kick it away for the second time. .44 on his first punt, and this is a good kick as well. And it's taken in at the 9. Nowhere to go that time. It's a 46-yard punt with a loss on the return. And the Vikings will be backed up deep to begin their drive as they take over 1st and 10. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
On second down and 4, Prescott. He was trying to get that one to Demaryius Thomas, and that takes us from second to third down.
Very difficult night for the guys on offense. They've got to be looking at each other in the huddle and on the sidelines. How are we going to find some open space to complete a pass and find open room to run? This defense all night long has squeezed down the passing lanes, made plays on the football. It's really been a thing of beauty for them. He's got to figure all day long prepping for the game, they had to have talked about it again and again. Squeeze passing lanes, and they'll be in great shape.
Open man, he's got him, the tight end Hockenson. And he's going to be taken down here still a couple yards short of the first. 2 yards is all they'll get on the completion. It's fourth down. Here's Dustin Colquitt now, standing just outside his own goal line. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. That's taken on the 25. Great blocking on the return. It springs him for 25. And it'll be a short field for the Bears as they take over 1st and 10.
Let's get off the field, D. Let's get off the field, D.
On first down, Thompson. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Again, a run with Thompson. And they'll get this just to the 47, 1-yard gain.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
They'll need the 39 here for a first. This is third down.
Check Mike, 27. Check Mike.
Out of the gun, Trubisky. Out left, he's got it to Everett. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a fourth down.
One of the money routes for any offense, the drag route. So tough to defend because the receiver can stop at any point and make himself available to the quarterback and get a completion. But I love the communication we saw there. All the defenders pointing out the receiver, where he was going, and then they're able to rally to the ball after the catch and stop him short of a first down.
Here we go.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Up at the 29 now, they'll head to the line, 2nd and a yard. Running with Howard. And they're able to swarm him behind the line, and his rough night continues. Trey Flowers there on the tackle.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. They go with Howard again. Boy, no chance as he was met and dropped behind the line there. They end up getting stuffed twice after that 9-yard gain back on 1st down. Here's Dustin Colquitt now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. This is taken at about the 14. Good blocking there, nearly sprung him. As it is, it'll go as a 19-yard return. And that will come the offense as they take over. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. This drive starts out on the ground with Michelle. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves them with 2 to go on 2nd down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this 3rd quarter. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Watch the slit, watch the slit. Check, 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 check.
And it's Michelle once again. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. 2 yards, good enough for a first.
But we always talk about good down and distance, allowing offenses to expand their playbook. Well, 2nd and 2, that means your playbook's wide open. You can run just about anything. But a lot of times, the play caller, he just looks down at his sheet, sees the short yardage runs, and goes to one of those.
Keeping it on the ground on 1st, Michelle. And give him about 5 as he gets this up to the 48-yard line.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
So through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. Give him 14 on that one and a first down.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
Come on, 180. You run. Watch the safety creep. Run.
They'll run on first down. Michelle, and he'll be taken down at the 33, a pickup of about 4.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. They'll run it. This is Michelle. Works his way inside the 30 on a pickup of 4.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on run downs. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the 2nd level.
The Bears on 3rd down. Not quite 50%. 4 for 9. Here it's 3rd and 2. They'll try and run for it. Here's Michelle. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. It's a pickup of 10 and a Bears first down.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
Recon, 132, 5.
On first down, Michelle. And he'll take this inside the 20 and down to the 18. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
He's had success on this drive, but not on this play.
Finally, they bowed up defensively. I think they were determined not to let him take it pretty much all the way down the field.
Yeah, it looks like they handled their run responsibilities correctly this time. What we call them run fits, everyone was in the right place.
On 2nd down now, it's Thompson. And they'll get him down right around the 16. Tackled that time by Cindy Jones.
They're in a pretty good spot right now with a convincing lead. I think this is where they put on the boxing gloves, start to try and pound them into submission.
And the offensive line, they've controlled this game. I don't see why that trend would change now. On the ground, Michelle. And he is going to be stopped at the 12, short of the first down. Call it a gain of 4, and it'll bring up 4th down.
But forget knowing where the first down line was. This defense created their own line of scrimmage. They won every battle up front, and a lot of times that is one-on-one. And if you win your one-on-ones enough times, your defense is going to be pretty good. They had more people to the football and snuffed out the play.
And the 14-year trusty veteran able to knock it through, and that will extend the lead out to 24. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
Prescott, he'll take a shot for the end zone. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's 2nd down. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure. The backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
Trying to lay one up deep. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's 3rd down. So now 3rd and 10. A big play to start the drive, but nothing since. To the air again, Prescott. Looking long for Thomas. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And, look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually, that becomes man-on-man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
A critical one here if they're going to have any shot at this thing. So they'll go for it on 4th down. Prescott to throw on 4th. And this is incomplete. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And the Bears will get the football back. Well, that's another mistake there on the drop pass on 4th. And we've seen him do things like this all game.
It's not hard to figure out why they're down by that deficit. They haven't made plays that are going to keep them in the game or win the game all game long. That's another example right there. It all boils down at the end of it to execution. Either you make the play or you don't.
They begin with Michelle on the ground. He's got the first down and more inside the 40. A big-time run there by Sony Michel. 45 yards. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all 3 still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning. So a nice job to break the 1 tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. Give him 4 on the carry there. It's 2nd and goal. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Bears with a football here as we welcome you back. They've got a 2nd and goal now as they look to add a few more points here onto their total. And they will run it with Michel. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. It'll be a loss of 1, and that is going to set up 3rd and goal.
Switch gears.
They'll try to run it in, Michel. And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it's going to bring up a 4th and goal.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
Now Gostkowski will come on to try a field goal. This will be just a 21-yard attempt. And Gostkowski's kick is good. And that'll push the lead from 24 up to 27. So put 3 on the board, but from that far into enemy territory, probably hoping for more.
Yeah, I think they're going to get together on the sideline and talk about it, right? Because you get that far, that deep, you want to come away with a touchdown. They'll take the 3, but they're going to file it away for the future.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that, and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team, and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
Thomas has got it, complete. Now the Vikings will use the 2nd of their timeouts as they stop it with 22 ticks to go in the 4th. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10.
Hey, count. 20, 26.
Prescott from the gun. He's going to let it fly. And it'll be intercepted. Read it well, and it's picked. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
The Bears take over 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And this one all over but the shouting, you might say. Now, there's one timeout remaining defensively, but probably no real need to use it here.
Yeah, the only time they would use it, strictly for pride.
So this one in the win column for the Chicago Bears. And it was their defense that really made the statement after the break. They pitched the second half shutout.
Yeah, think about the team that just got vanquished. They did score in the 2nd quarter. Do you think they thought at all that that would be their last points of the game?
No, but what a second half. The adjustment, whatever they did in the locker room, it certainly worked.
It certainly did, and you're exactly right. Whether it was an adjustment, whether it was just more focus on what they planned to do going in, whether they just played better, whatever it was, it all came together in the second half, and no points were allowed. That's a great way to close them out.
So for Chicago, they move back over 500 now at 4-3. And they'll get to stay home again next week. Meanwhile, for Minnesota, they fall 2 games under 500 now at 3-5. And they'll try to get back to their winning ways next week as they head to Lambeau to take on the Packers. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Certainly have to thank Charles Davis, my broadcast partner, and our